Part 71. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 703. Abbot Suansi quickly sent Lu Feng away, and Lu Feng also took Dian Wei Zayun to find Xiao Feng. As he expected, Xiao Feng was on his way up the mountain. He wanted to talk to Master Suansi about what happened back then, and also wanted to confirm who his enemy was. For Xiao Feng now, her heart and eyes are full of hatred, and she can't see the people around her who care about him. If it weren't for his eagerness for revenge, Azu would not have died tragically, and it was precisely because of Azu's death that he awakened the righteousness in Xiao Feng's heart was revealed. It can be said that Xiao Feng had the ability to be a hero, but it was hatred that temporarily blinded him. It was Azu's death that made Xiao Feng a real hero. It's a pity that such success must be achieved with the woman Xiao Feng loves most in his life. Who are you? Why are you stopping in front of me? Please get out of my way, brother. I have something important to do and I have to go to Shaolin. Xiao Feng looked at Lu Feng in front of him and the more than 50 people behind him. He felt very strange. He recalled that he had not offended anyone like this recently, and wanted to quickly complete the business he wanted to do. Lu Feng I was also sizing him up at that time. The rumored hero did have some curly hair because he had blood from other ethnic groups. Strictly speaking, Hu Jun's image was more in line with the image of this hero. The smell of men is also very strong, full of momentum. It's no wonder that so many people are impressed by him. Lu Feng once thought about whether to take Xiao Feng under his command. After all, if such a top master can become his subordinate, he will definitely make a profit. But think about it, Xiao Feng has a special identity. He is not a pure Han. If you want to recruit him to kill other races, Xiao Feng would probably rather commit suicide than do this. If Xiao Feng commits suicide, he will start with Lu Feng. One of the missions I came to this world conflicted with. There is no need to delay the mission for your own selfish desires. It doesn't matter who I am, you just need to know that I am here to tell you the truth and prevent you from being blinded by revenge. If you hurt an innocent person, the one you will regret in the end is you. Lu Feng asked him to calm down and listen to himself. As a person who doesn't know all the truth yet, he shouldn't be so impulsive. It turns out that this brother came to persuade me like everyone else. I don't a Euro trademark T know who you knew I was here through, and I don't a Euro trademark T know who you are related to, so you came here to persuade me, but I take your words as nothing. Inaudible, I must take revenge. No one can stop me. Don't worry, I won't hurt your life, but you must get out of the way now. Xiao Feng laughed. He regarded Lu Feng as the same as everyone else, who came to persuade him not to take revenge. When he wanted to take revenge, countless people tried to persuade him not to take revenge. He was already convinced by such words. He was tired of it, but after all, he was a good person with a chivalrous heart, so even if he was annoyed by persuasion, he would not really hurt the person who persuaded him. Lu Feng smiled and shook his head. How could he advise Xiao Feng not to take revenge? He came here to persuade Xiao Feng not to hurt innocent people. As for revenge, that's for sure. As a grown man, if he can't avenge his family, can he still be considered a man? Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 704. You misunderstood. I am not here to advise you not to take revenge. I am here to advise you to see clearly who your real enemy is and stop killing innocent people outside. You will regret it sooner or later. Lu Feng shook his head with a smile and explained his origins to Xiao Feng. His words also made Xiao Feng feel confused. This person seemed completely different from his friends. You seem to have a different attitude from those friends around me. What do you mean by this? I am willing to wait here for you to finish your words before deciding whether to go to Shaolin Temple or not. Although Xiao Feng looks like a very rough man, In fact, he has a very high IQ and EQ and will not attack someone casually. Otherwise, he will not know the heroes of the world and can make people all the heroes in the world are willing to surrender to him. He is not in a hurry now to go up the mountain to find Abbot Suansi in the Shaolin Temple. Instead, he just finds a place nearby, sits on the ground, and waits for Lu Feng to speak to him. Your real enemy is Murongbo, who is Murong Fuyuro trademark's father. Nonsense, Murong Fu's father and my father both died that year, how could we still seek revenge from him? Xiao Feng waved his hand and snorted coldly. He suddenly felt that Lu Feng was talking nonsense here and was using deception to prevent him from going to the Shaolin Temple to cause trouble. Of course I have a way to prove that Murongbo is not dead, but not now. You just need to remember what I said. Your real enemy is Murongbo. Back then, he spread false news and made Master Suansi mistakenly believe that your father came to the Central Plains for kill all the Han people in the world. That's why he took action and led people to kill your father. The person who really stood in the way was Murongbo. He wanted to restore the country and used all kinds of dirty tricks. Now you don't a Euro trademark T know who is the person who really harmed you. He goes around killing innocent people, making everyone in the world think that you are a ruthless and unjust person, disrupting the situation in this world. Don't forget your identity, but you came from the beggar clan, and now the whole world has been turned upside down by you. This is also one of Murongbo's plans, so don't be fooled. After saying such a long sentence, Lu Feng's mouth was a little dry. Fortunately, Zhao Yun behind him was a very discerning man. He took mountain spring water from the mountain spring next to him and gave Lu Feng a drink to quench his thirst. The Shaolin Temple is on a mountain, and there are mountain springs in the nearby mountains. The mountain spring water is very sweet. If you use it to quench your thirst, you can feel a hint of sweet coolness, which is very comfortable. When Lu Feng finished this long series of words, Xiao Feng also lost in thought. Although these words sounded like he was advising Xiao Feng to remember who he really is, they were also telling him not to fall into other people's traps without knowing it. It was a waste of words. It made me salivate a lot because Lu Feng actually had many purposes, but Xiao Feng was a smart man and he could understand them all. Even if, as you said, Murongbo is my real enemy, and you will prove that he is not dead, what about the others? As Master Suansi who did it himself, is there nothing wrong? Xiao Feng frowned. Although he was asking the question, in fact, he was very entangled in his heart. He had begun to doubt whether he really had to kill Master Suansi to get revenge and to have an explanation. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 705. Lu Feng saw Xiao Feng's entanglement and was very happy. Xiao Feng was a sensible person. If he told him the whole story clearly, he would calm down and think carefully. What happened to your parents is indeed a pity, but don't a Euro trademark T be blinded by hatred. Abbot Suansi in the Shaolin Temple cannot come out because of what happened back then. Can a Euro trademark T you see his regret? He is sincere, isn't he more sincere than those around you? Lu Feng reminded Xiao Feng with what actually happened. He has been deceived all the way up to now and has not even received an apology. Those people deceived Xiao Feng for granted, and Xiao Feng didn't take it seriously. Now that I'm here with Abbot Suansi, I can't explain why I'm alive and dead. It really is the thought of the martial arts world. The hatred of killing your father and your mother is irreconcilable. Even if Abbot Suansi has been in Shaolin Temple these years, he may not have repented. In my opinion, he is hiding and does not want to pay the price for what happened back then. Xiao Feng snorted. Facing Abbot Suansi, he was still mostly filled with hatred. His current wavering was caused by Lu Feng telling him so many truths. It was also the best time to persuade him, but it was still difficult. Let me ask you, did Abbot Suansi cause the Yanmen Pass tragedy in order to kill your family? When Lu Feng talked about the causal relationship with him, Xiao Feng of course hesitated. Although he didn't want to admit it, with his character, he always talked about it without any ambiguity. If what you said is true, Abbot Suansi killed my family for the sake of the Han people. He did it for righteousness. The person who gave birth to this misunderstanding a long time ago was Murongbo. Xiao Feng knows this idea very well, and Lu Feng doesn't look like he is lying. If all this is true, it is obvious that Xiao Feng's real enemy should be Murongbo. But Abbot Suansi is always the one who takes action. Xiao Feng is it's hard to let go of my hatred for him. Even if it was a conspiracy, Abbot Suansi was still the murderer. I am not trying to advise you to let anyone go, but there is no need to kill Abbot Suansi. If, as Abbot, he saves more people and keeps more people alive in this world, isn't that a good thing? Would Euro trademark you like to have one more good person who helps others? Lu Feng's every word touched Xiao Feng's heart. He is a hero with righteousness in his heart. Of course he would like there to be more good people than bad people in the world. Abbot Suansi is indeed a good person. This is an indisputable fact. He is also the most moral. Otherwise, he would not have been guilty of one thing for so many years. Of course, in the Shaolin Temple these years, Abbot Suansi Euro trademark's desire to escape cannot be ruled out. This is not worthy of forgiveness. Lu Feng can only speak with great principles. To move Xiao Feng, people like Xiao Feng really have to set up a bigger picture in order to move him. He will definitely be willing to pay for the sake of the people of the world. I understand what you mean. I want a Euro trademark to insist on the death of Abbot Suansi, but he must go with me to kneel down in front of my parents' Euro trademark souls to repent and make amends. He is not allowed to get up for 7 days and 7 nights. I swear from now on I will never kill anyone, but only save others. In this way, I can forgive him. Xiao Feng pondered for a long time. In the end, he chose to achieve great benevolence and put aside his personal affairs. This was also very consistent with his character as a hero. However, he had quite a lot of conditions, and he actually asked Xianci the abbot went to the grave and knelt for 7 days and 7 nights. This was life-threatening. 3 Kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 706. Lu Feng thought for a while. With Abbot Suansi's character, if Xiao Feng proposed to do this, he would really be able to agree. He could even commit suicide, so why couldn't he agree? I will discuss everything you ask with Abbot Suansi and will definitely give you a satisfactory answer. However, if you are willing, you can stay in Shaolin Temple for the time being. I believe Abbot Suansi is willing to chat with you face to face. Lu Feng gave him the opportunity to meet alone with Abbot Suansi, and with his own advice, he believed that both parties were willing to sit down and have a good talk. But if he was not present, the two people might not be able to reach an agreement. Fighting is another troublesome thing. He must be present. Only when 3 people are in the same place at the same time can they feel at ease. If you can really do it, then it would be worthwhile for me to listen to you for just 1 or 2 words. Xiao Feng sighed. He had no way to continue going up the mountain now because he had begun to feel confused. He didn't know whether it was right for him to insist on going up the mountain for revenge. The Shaolin Temple will probably not welcome me, so I want a Euro trademark to go up there. I have other things I want to do, so I a Euro trademark leave for now. But don't a Euro trademark worry, I want a Euro trademark be thinking about revenge for the time being. Xiao Feng thought for a while. Since he didn't come for revenge, there was no point in going to Shaolin Temple, so he planned to go down the mountain to other places for the time being. However, he promised Lu Feng that he would never talk about revenge again, at least not now. Of course you can leave first, but you have to remember that if you promise me, A gentleman's words are hard to follow. Lu Feng stretched out his left hand and wanted to high-five Jiao Feng as an oath. He believed that with Jiao Feng's character, once he made a promise, he would never go back on it easily. Once a word is spoken, it is hard to follow. Jiao Feng is also a cheerful person, and the two high-fived and the oath was established. After that, the two separated and did their own things. Lu Feng thought to himself that since he entered the world of Tianlong Ba Bulletin, the world line has been changed by him, and the ending of these people is certain it will become different. Maybe according to the butterfly effect, the fate of some people has changed now. It is hard to say what Shaoxi Mountain will look like in the future. But according to time, Duan Yu is picking up girls now, and Wang Yuyan she must be by his side, looking for the cousin she misses all over the world. Lu Feng has long wanted to see what this fairy sister who misses her cousin looks like. After telling Abbot Suansi of Shaolin Temple what Jiao Feng said, Lu Feng also after leaving the Shaolin Temple, only Abbot Suansi was left struggling with Jiao Feng Euro trademark S words in the Zen room. Jiao Feng, Xiao Feng, even he can let go of the hatred in his heart for the sake of the righteousness of the world, so what qualifications do I have to escape the accusations of the people of this world? This should have been my punishment, Amitabha. Abbot Suansi recited the Buddha's name and counted his sins over the years. He suddenly felt that he had been escaping all this time, thinking that he could get spiritual comfort in this way. But in fact, it was not the case. He was just after escaping again and again, he was finally able to find peace of mind, all for himself. Such a selfish person, compared with Jiao Feng who was now persuaded by Lu Feng, he could not be called a master. He felt guilty from the bottom of his heart, and after this, he decided that he would never have suicidal thoughts again. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 707. Lu Feng was on the road at the moment, unaware that the Shaolin Temple behind him had undergone earth-shaking changes because Abbot Suansi had changed his mind. He was also preoccupied with whether he would have a chance to meet the fairy sister. However, he has not forgotten his system mission and the point of unifying the world. For this, he needs to go to the palace and find the current emperor of the Song dynasty, Song Zhezong Zhaosu. I was riding on the road and passed through Wuxi. I saw two horses riding side by side on the road. One was wearing a red shirt and the other was wearing a green shirt. It was Zhu Bai. Lu Feng laughed. He hadn't met the fairy sister Wang Yuyan yet, but he saw the sisters A Zhu and A Bai first. I really don't know what the fate is. Sir, may I ask if there is an inn ahead where I can rest? A Zhu is as gentle as water, decent and generous, and can be called a lady. As soon as she speaks, it is Wunong's soft words, which makes people's ears itch. No wonder a strong man like Jiao Feng is also entangled with 3 fingers of tenderness. The girl is so polite. I happen to be heading to Wuxi. Less than 20 miles ahead, there happens to be a place to rest. Lu Feng is not a stingy person, so he kindly answered A Zhu's question. Originally, according to Lu Feng's theoretical knowledge, the Shaolin Temple should be in Kaifeng, Henan, but for some reason, in the world he came to, Abbot Suansi's Shaolin Temple was not in Songshan, Henan. It was far away. Being so far along the coast from Guangzhou, he had no choice but to go to Kaifeng, the capital of the Song dynasty, so he could only walk all the way north, passing through Wuxi and other places. Unexpectedly, he met the 2 sisters Aju and Abi here. Maybe this was God's will. Let him be a guiding light for everyone and avoid certain tragedies from happening. Thank you for helping me to clear up my daughter's doubts. It is really dangerous for my daughter and sister on the road. I wonder if you would be willing to let my sisters stay with you until we get to Wuxi. I would like to ask you to keep my sisters safe along the way. Arjuna thanked him first. After thanking him, he mentioned that he wanted to go with Lu Feng. He also said that the road was dangerous. If he wasn't with Lu Feng, he would feel like he had to be leashed at any time. This statement was completely consistent with Arjuna's flirtatious eyes. No, what's more, if others don't know the fighting prowess of these two sisters, how can Lu Feng not know it? Although in the setting of Tianlong Ba Bulletin, the two sisters' military value is not outstanding, their self-protection ability is absolutely no problem, especially Azu's disguise skill is so superb that no one can see it. Didn't Xiao Feng fall for her? Even the top masters can't see the disguise skill. Just think about it and you will know how terrible it is. Well, of course, with beautiful women accompanying you along the way, why not? Lu Feng smiled, looking like a handsome young man. The two girls, Aju and Abi, were shaken in their hearts. This young master is very handsome. Although brother who is also very handsome and majestic, his appearance is still a little worse than this young master. Seeing that the young master is followed by so many followers, his status must be extraordinary. I am afraid that I am not worthy of it. Azu secretly thought, this Lu Feng is much better than those men she has met before, especially the first impression he had when they met, it was simply amazing. He is humble, polite, handsome, and unrestrained, isn't this the perfect fantasy object in a woman's heart? Really? There are so many subordinates behind him. Azu has been traveling around the world for many years, and he can tell at a glance that these subordinates are Lian Jiazi. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 708. Abi was the smartest one. Next to Azu, Lu Feng was blushing fiercely. This was the first time she saw such a handsome and elegant man. Sister, where did this person come from? Is it because he is so good looking that so many people followed him to protect him from being snatched away by bandits? Abi, a clever little girl, has such extraordinary imagination. If Lu Feng, who was walking in front, heard the whispers of the two sisters, he would not know how to roll his eyes. How could a grown man be used in nice words? What about describing it? What are you thinking about every day? This young man can tell at a glance that he has an extraordinary background. Look at the people behind him. Everyone is strong and powerful, with sharp eyes. They are like knives raking over you and me, especially the two people following the young master are even more extraordinary in their demeanor, calm and masterful. From this alone, I know that together we are no match for them. Azu taps her sister's forehead dotingly, but can do nothing to her sister. He can only analyze it to her in a clear and logical manner. He also hopes that his sister can follow his own thinking and grow up, and in the future, he can also understand details like this by observing others. Is the opponent a friend or an enemy, strong or weak? So smart. When did the Central Plains Woolen have such a powerful figure? This is the first time I have heard my sister give such high praise to others. Abi was very surprised. Azu is a person with venomous eyes, and it is easy not to give such high praise to others, but now it is just the first time to meet Lu Feng, and he has such a high evaluation. Abi's eyes are full of color, look at it, the eyes towards Lu Feng were full of admiration. Suddenly, I felt that something was not right about this Abi. The two sisters followed Lu Feng closely, both having different thoughts about him. At this moment, Azu had not found Azi yet, entrusted everything to Xiao Feng, and treated the sisters around him as his own sisters. The group walked a few miles more, and two figures in white robes came towards them. One had a peach-shaped face, and the other had a jade-like face. She has a charming face, just like a pretty girl, the most attractive appearance to women. She is full of fairy spirit, not like a mortal, noble and elegant, like the inviolable white moonlight in her heart. Aren't they Duan Yu and Wang Yuyan? At this time, Wang Yuyan is still here with his cousin on his mind, Duan Yu also acted as Wang Yuyan's dog licker very conscientiously and tried his best to make Wang Yuyan happy along the way. Unfortunately, Wang Yuyan only wanted to know the information about her cousin and did not show a smile. Oops! Aren't these Mr. Duan and Miss Wang? You two are actually here too? It's really fate that we met by chance. Azu saw Duan Yu and Wang Yuyan at a glance. When he saw an acquaintance, he excitedly went up to say hello. It turned out to be Miss Aju Abi. Did the two girls escape safely? I don't a Euro trademark T know where brother Chiao has gone. I was planning to find him, but I didn't a Euro trademark T expect that I would have the chance to meet you two. Not long ago, they were attacked together because of some things, and they ran away in panic. Duan Yu only had Miss Wang in his eyes, and he protected Wang Yuyan all the way. If Azu Abi hadn't had Qiao Feng, she might have burped on the spot in the chaos. Fortunately, they ran fast among the guards, but they parted ways after escaping. Now that they can meet again, it is really fate. Hey, who is this? Duan Yu smiled and asked who Lu Feng was. Three Kingdoms, I have a job transfer palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 709. Lu Feng and Aju Abi walked together and looked like they knew each other. It was normal for Duan Yu to ask. Look at me, I have forgotten, young master, I have not asked you for your name yet. My name is Azu, this is my sister Abi, this is my good friend Duan Yu, Mr. Duan, and this is Miss Wang Yuyan. Azu slapped his forehead, and then he remembered that he hadn't introduced himself properly yet. Fortunately, the children in the world are not formal and don't care about these things. Lu Feng, a raging beacon. Lu Feng nodded and answered politely. The language was concise and did not introduce too much. For Azu and the others, they still don't know what Lu Feng's background is. Mr. Lu has a majestic appearance and must have an extraordinary background, and the guards behind him are all very capable. I don't a Euro trademark T know which sect Mr. Lu comes from, and I am very curious. Duan Yu is a person with high emotional intelligence. When meeting someone, no matter whether he is an enemy or a friend, he should first make himself shorter, show more respect to the other person, and show weakness to the enemy, so that so many people do not list him as an opponent. Even Lingbo Weibu is a top-level light skill for escaping. Of course, if some people get Lingbo Weibu, they will never use it to escape. Only Duan Yu can use it. There is no family or sect, so don't a Euro trademark T worry about it. Lu Feng rode forward and didn't pay much attention to Duan Yu. When talking to this person, you will make mistakes if you talk too much. It's better to be indifferent. Is young Master Lu traveling the same way as us? Wang Yuyan spoke and looked at Lu Feng with eyes full of curiosity. She really wanted to know everything about Lu Feng. Although all this was based on her character, she was full of curiosity about everything unknown, but in fact, she didn't know a woman a Euro trademark's curiosity about a man is often the beginning of love. Maybe, maybe not. Lu Feng was shocked in his words. His ultimate goal was to reach the palace, and Wuxi was just passing by. Going all the way north was his ultimate goal. There was indeed a section that was the same as Wang Yuyan's route, and a section that was different. Mr. Lu is really good at telling jokes. Wang Yuyan chuckled, feeling that Lu Feng's words were so interesting. Unconsciously, she even rode closer to Lu Feng, and alienated Duan Yu. Miss Wang, don't just focus on talking to new friends. I also want to know about Mr. Lu. Let's go together. Duan Yu shamelessly came up to him, with his usual dog-licking style. If he hadn't been brought up in Dali, he might have lost even his last bit of self-esteem. Mr. Duan, I am talking to Mr. Lu now. Can you please take a break for now? Wang Yuyan spoke very politely. Even if she didn't want to talk to Duan Yu, she wouldn't say rude words. Instead, she politely asked Duan Yu to go and cool down. Maybe this is the way cultural people talk. I'm not tired. How could I be tired when I'm with Miss Wang? I'm afraid that the 12 hours in this day are not enough to be with Miss Wang. Even if we are apart for a moment, I feel that this world is extremely boring. Duan Yu's words are really sweet. There is no need for earthy love words at all. Every word in every sentence tells you that I love you so much. The key is that this Duan Yu expressed his affection with a very sincere face. I didn't trademark T feel that what I said was embarrassing to some people. If Wang Yuyan wasn't trademark T an ordinary person, who could withstand this? Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 710. Lu Feng was speechless when he heard Duan Yu say these shameless words of love. This man really did anything to pick up girls. No wonder Qiao Feng is upgrading here and picking up girls. Although Duan Yu is not Duan Zhenshun's biological child, why does he feel more like his biological child? The personalities of those who wander around and flirt with women are exactly the same. Mr. Duan, please stop saying such words that are easily misunderstood. You should learn from Mr. Lu, be concise and mean, and be calm and steady. Wang Yuyan didn't like Duan Yu at first. With Lu Feng standing by for comparison, she disliked Duan Yu even more. How could this person be so annoying? How could she, a lady from a wealthy family, accept Duan Yu's behavior in front of so many people? Speak love words to her. Even her cousin, whom she misses deeply, never dares to be alone with her, let alone say these love words, which will cause people to misunderstand and tarnish her innocent reputation. She never dares to go too far, but this Duan Yu, since appearing next to her, Lei Qi was just a decoration, and I didn't see any great use from Duan Yu. Fortunately, Duan Yu is a person with principles in important matters, otherwise a weak woman like Wang Yuyan would have been captured by him long ago. Aju Abi covered her mouth and chuckled beside her. Sometimes it was quite interesting to hear them bickering. Who doesn't trademark T like watching theater? As they were talking interestingly, they walked through a large forest and suddenly saw two young people by the river. Howling loudly, "Why are you crying on the edge of the woods?" Duan Yu and others asked whether someone had hanged themselves in the woods, so there were people crying by the river. After all, they didn't dare to come over when they saw a dead person, so they just I can cry watching it. You'll know what's going on if you go over there and take a look. Lu Feng shouted softly and stepped forward on his horse. He saw two young monks aged 14 or 15 years old. Their robes were stained with blood. One of them even hurt his forehead, and the blood on his forehead had not dried up. Azu felt soft and immediately got off his horse and stepped forward to help him. He checked the injury, simply wiped it with a handkerchief, and asked softly, "Little master, who bullied you? How come you were injured?" The little novice monk with the injury on his forehead was just crying and could not answer. The other one who was not injured cried and said, "Many evil people from various countries came to the temple. They suddenly rushed in and killed us without saying a word. My master and fellow disciples also kicked us out." Azu turned around and exchanged glances with Lu Feng, and they both saw the word puzzle in each other's eyes. "Fanbang? I saw a lot of Zixia people nearby. Are those the people you are talking about? Where is your temple?" Azu asked. "We are monks from Tianing Temple, and our temple is over there." The little novice monk pointed in the northeast direction and continued. "Those foreign people captured more than 100 beggars and came to our city to take shelter from the rain. They wanted wine and meat to eat, and they also asked us to go out and kill chickens and cows. The master said this was a sin and made us monks break the precepts. Yes, they were not allowed to kill cows in the temple, so they killed all the masters and fellow disciples. Woo 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 euro a euro." The little novice cried very sadly. He felt sad when he mentioned this incident. It was a very painful thing to watch the person closest to him die. Lu Feng gave Azu a look and asked her to continue asking. "There are still many things that are unclear. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 711. So are those who killed your master and fellow disciples gone? Azu asked. Before they leave, they are cooking beef in the temple. It is really a sin. Amitabha, I hope the Bodhisattva will bless these people and send them to the Abi hell to punish them for their sins in this life. The little novice monk pointed tremblingly in the direction of the temple and cursed other people. Little did he know that such behavior was already a violation of the precepts in the eyes of Buddhism. Then you go quickly, and you must run farther. If you are caught by those foreigners, they will definitely kill you too and maybe even eat you. Azu saw that he already knew all the information. If these two young novices stayed here, they would only be a hindrance. So he simply threatened them and scared them away. Facts have proved that the effect was remarkable, and the two young novices were frightened. They were so upset that they helped each other and staggered away. Sister Azu, why is this necessary? These two little novice monks are already at the end of their rope. If you threaten them again, won't this make them even more frightened? Duanyu was a little displeased. He thought these two young novices were very pitiful. Azu's threats were really not the behavior of a good person. Mr. Duan didn't understand that those people from other countries behaved badly. If they knew that there were still two survivors, they might kill the two young novices. It would be better to scare them away and find another way out. Azu shook his head and told Duanyu not to be anxious. He had a reason for doing this. Wang Yuyan was a little annoyed because of Duanyu's rash words. She felt that he was unreasonable and didn't know what the purpose of the other party was for doing this. Then Dona Euro trademark T speak casually, as this can easily cause misunderstandings. Miss Wang, please Dona Euro trademark T get me wrong. I have absolutely no other intentions. I just feel that those two little novice monks are really pitiful, so I want to care about them. Duanyu was afraid that Wang Yuyan would ignore him, so he quickly explained the reason. However, Wang Yuyan didn't care about him. He no longer wanted to listen to Duanyu's explanation. He turned his head away, not wanting to pay attention to the fact that he was getting closer to Lu Feng. In my opinion, the monks of Tianning Temple are really miserable. What's more, those foreigners are not from our clan and they must have different intentions. Why don't we go and deal with them now and avenge the monks of Tianning Temple? Azu suggested that since the road is rough, we must draw out our swords to help. He suggested that everyone go over to help and contribute to Tianning Temple. Sister Azu is right, we should draw our swords to help when there is injustice. Mr. Lu, I wonder if you are willing to draw your swords with us. Abi looked resentful. She felt that these foreign disciples had gone too far. They actually came to the Central Plains and massacred the monks in the Central Plains. This was not human behavior. How could they continue to look at it? Wang Yuyan also agreed with her face. It's just that she can't be used as a combat force and can only provide a little technical support. Of course, one life for one life, they must die. Lu Feng nodded, does this need to be said? He came to this world just to make the Han people stand at the top of everyone. Of course, he must kill these foreign countries. The few people agreed and headed towards Tianning Temple in the northeast, and when I went there, people from other countries were drinking and eating meat, and they were very happy. Three Kingdoms, I Have a Job Transfer Palace. Author, Strong Wine Burns the Heart. Chapter 712. When Lu Feng and the others arrived at Tianning Temple, they saw some people drinking wine and eating meat. The pot was still steaming with the smell of meat. It was freshly killed beef, which was particularly tender. These people were sitting together chatting, and they were all talking about the murder they had just committed. Did you see that? Those monks were scared to death by us just now. This is what we should do. These Central Plains people are cowards. We just pulled out the knife and they were scared to death. The Xixia people laughed. They enjoyed bullying those monks who had no power to resist. Tianning Temple is just an ordinary monk temple. Everyone here has no skills. They just chant sutras. The monks who chanted Buddha's name had no power to fight back when facing these Xixia soldiers who had weapons in their hands. It's pitiful that ordinary people like them were massacred by these hateful Xixia people. This is why these foreign countries refuse to let even ordinary people go. You foreigners are indeed beasts, and you even killed monks who had no strength to restrain a chicken. How can you have the dignity to meet your gods? Azu rushed forward and shouted angrily. These foreign people all have gods they believe in, and each of these so-called gods is the most respected existence in their hearts. But now their behavior of massacring ordinary people is, if you are committing murder for yourself, how can any god be willing to bless such people? What are we going to do? Ita Euro trademark S. Not your turn as a Central Plains person to make irresponsible remarks. I think you Euro trademark re quite good looking. Why don't a Euro trademark you surrender honestly now and serve us gentlemen well? Maybe I can reward you with a bite of beef. Eat. The Xixia people don't care about Azu's threat at all. In their view, a woman cannot change the world. She is just a weakling that they can kill easily. Unfortunately, they don't know that they are not facing ordinary people this time. Azu was not someone to be trifled with. He grabbed the machete from their hands and killed 3 Xixia soldiers with his backhand. Only then did the other Xixia people realize that the woman in front of them was capable of martial arts. Are you people from the world of martial arts? The Xixia people then remembered that there was a group of people in the Central Plains who belonged to the Jianghu. They were highly armed and easily refused to participate in temple matters, but once they appeared, they were all strong against 100. Of course I am a son and daughter of the world, but you are a bunch of beasts. I will make you pay for those monks now. Azu shouted angrily, rushed forward, and fought with these Xixia people. Sister Azu, I'm here to help you. Abi is indeed a good sister of Azu. At this time, she was not to be outdone and rushed forward to help her sister kill these Xixia people. Duan Yu, as a licking dog who wanted to perform well in front of the goddess, was not to be outdone at this time and went up. Show off your masculine prowess. Wang Yuyan is watching from the back row, ready to use her mouth to output combat power at any time. However, these Xixia people are very ordinary soldiers, and no one is very strong in martial arts, so they have no moves. The random beating of Wang Yuyan had no effect. These people were quickly defeated by Azu and the others, and they were no match at all. These Xixia people were no match for the people in the world. After they fell, only the last person was left. At that time, he knelt down and desperately begged for mercy in front of everyone.